Morning YouTube, welcome back. So I have one for you. GM's famous, very famous Ecotec 1.4 turbo. Is it a 1.4? Pretty sure it's a 1.4. Anyway, believe it or not, your vehicle is a musical instrument. It's supposed to be pretty quiet, other than exhaust note if you have a gasoline powered vehicle. Same thing with a diesel. They have a certain sound of the engine that's normal, and then here you go. Now your engine starts to produce notes of sound when there's problems. So let's go through it. So a belt will produce a squeaky type of noise. Squeak, 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 or shh, 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 indicating there's something going on with your drive belt. Next would be the water pump bearing rattle. Okay, so that's another one. The same thing with an alternator that has a clutch drive pulley. When the bearing is dry on grease, it will squeak underneath of there. And it would also rattle when you shut it off when it freewheels because the one-way bearing's wiped out. So that's a few different noises, but let's focus on this 1.4 turbo. So this has a belt tensioner that has a spring with a metal rod that goes through it, and as it wears out, it will actually squeak, 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 squeak. This also has a fancy valve cover assembly. Depending on what its problem is that day, it could whistle, it could make the engine idle and have some trouble codes, and it would actually whistle through the diaphragm in the valve cover. So that's another whistle. It also could have a turbo whistle if the turbo has a problem or if it has exhaust mods. It also could have a weird rattly type whistle noise as well, coming from the center of the valve cover, and that could be from loose spark plugs. So these engines really need to be looked at and maybe taken apart to isolate what's going on. But specifically this one makes a bunch of different audible sounds when there's problems. And we won't get into mechanical issues internally, like rod knocks or valve taps, injector ticks, purge valve ticks. Sounds like an injector when it's on its duty cycle because it's worn out, even though it works. High pressure fuel injection pumps, you know, they make ticking noises, but primarily almost like whistling noises, especially from this motor. So you have valve cover issues, you have spark plugs that are loose, you have a turbo that could whistle, and you also have the belt tensioner. It's like a squeaky whistle. And then also when the spark plugs are loose in these motors, it's like a squeaky it's weird, but they produce an audible sound, almost like music. I wanted to do a video of all the different brands of belt squeaks because I see so many people who come in with belt squeaks or pulley issues and things like that, and they make a bunch of different sounds from every different design and manufacturer. And I kind of wanted to record them all and then put it all together and see if I can make something out of it, but I'm not that musically talented. My ears are talented for sounds, for picking up what audible sounds are coming from and affiliating them to what's wrong with the car. Thanks for watching.